Hey guys, welcome back to Ungraceful Garage, and today we are doing I don't even know what part of the 1999 RM125 Suzuki Revival. You know, the bike has been sitting for 10 plus years, and now I'm trying to get it back going. Switch to the bike. And as you can see, we have our 1999 RM125 Suzuki, and I honestly can't even remember exactly where we left off on this thing. Oh, paper bag. Alright, so this paper bag brings back memories because it's with this is where I left off. This goes on the airbox to the carburetor, and I had to take it off, and I lost the screw. By the way, BTW, this screw costs like $20 just for a machine screw. Crazy. I don't know exactly why that is. I think it's stainless, but I'm not sure. And it's also just from Ace Hardware. But anyway, let's get this on there. Okay, stay. The stubby one will work. Oh, it fell out of the hole. Come on. Now we're out of the groove. Got a long ways to go. Okay, we're on there tight. And then the next thing is going to be to get all of this back together. Ooh, and I didn't even check the tank in a while. I know you can't really see in this gas tank very well, and I don't even know if I recorded the before, but this was covered in sludge from it sitting so long, and basically all that was left was like an oil syrup. And so I put some fresh gas in here and just shook it up, and it's been sitting with fresh gas in it. Well, it ain't so fresh no more, but I know it's hard to see in there, but it looks a lot cleaner now. And the stuff you can see, that's just gas I haven't dumped out yet. So that's a win. All right, the tank has been emptied, and now I am going to replace it back on the bike. Just put it on there, snap her down. Goes on like that. And this goes on up here, which is starting to break. And then you have two boats right here, which hopefully I can find. Do believe that would be these longer ones. Probably should have put these in before I strapped it down, because I think it's pulling it back a little bit. And it is. Get that started. Over to this side. Snap that back loose. That'll make for an easier time. Snap that back on there. Alright. Grab my 8mm. Pretty much everything on this bike is an 8mm or a 10mm. Not everything, but most of it. See that? I was about to step in front of the camera and do the whole lean over, and all you'd see is my back. But I'm learning. I'm learning, guys. I'm going to go all the way over here and then do something you can't see, so I'm probably going to cut it out anyway. Alright. Alright, now that our gas tank is secured, we can hook up the hose, which I probably should do because then we'll have this whole carb gas tank scenario done. And so I'm going to replace this hose because it's garbage. Let's take it off there real quick. I mean, I just took it off there really easy. But it's weather checking and dying in all the wrong places. So I think I have new hose. We're gonna put that on. All right, old hose, new hose. It's basically the same exact thing, honestly, but this one's crunchy and hard, and this one's flexible, not. I'm not gonna throw it though. All right, let's get this on here. Make sure you got your hose clamps on in a responsible fashion. Oh, you know what? I just noticed a little flaw in my line running here. Something I should have addressed before I put this on. But I like making things harder for myself, so here we go. These are going to be in my way. Why are they even like that? Yeah, let's do something more like that. That's a little better. Alright, then we got our gas line on. Gas line is on. Right there. Alright, so now this whole situation down here is looking a lot better. So our carb is on. Got all our vent lines in. We got our gas line in. We got our fuel tank secured. Now I could start throwing plastic on, or I can clean the air filter, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you a quick walkthrough of that real quick. Alright, so if you've seen any of my carb videos, this is the probably infamous bucket of gas that I still have laying around. I need to get rid of, but I knew this was coming up, so I've saved on it. Alright, so you're going to take your foam filter, and you're going to put it in this gas, and just squish it up and clean it up and get it all clean, get the oil, the filter oil off of it, and all the dirt and whatnot. This thing's actually not that dirty because it never got ridden much, but then this is barely enough gas depth-wise. I usually do like a coffee can, but I don't know. Coffee cans are harder to come by that aren't cardboard. Oh yeah, it's cleaned up real nice already. Get all that filter oil out of there. I usually let them soak for a little while, but seems how there's not much gas in here. Maybe I'll get it all to one corner. It might be stained because, I mean, this filter oil has been sitting on it for a long time. So, quite honestly, I think that might be the situation. So, get as much of the gas out as I can. Okay. And now I'm going to turn this inside out. And we are going to spray it off. Alright, so I got my fancy air gun. And I got this air filter here. I'm just going to spray all the debris off of it. Make sure you're not spraying it towards anything important. Okay, the inside's all cleaned up. Now let's get the outside. Make sure that then once you're done blowing it all off, I usually let it sit on something somewhat clean, and also that I don't give a shit about as much. Getting gassy and letting it dry. Also, I'm gonna go clean this while we're waiting. Alright, so we got this all cleaned up. A little bit of carb clean, nylon brush, and I dipped it in the gas a little bit, did a little more, and then blew it off with the air compressor, wiped it down, and it's good. I mean, this thing's going inside, on the inside of the air filter, so anything that's on this can possibly get into your carburetor, which can even possibly get into your engine and ruin your riding day, so make sure it's clean too. Alright guys, So this could probably use more dry time, to be completely honest, but I kind of want to hear this thing start tonight, and it's getting a little late, so I'm going to push it. I've never used this, not just VP Racing foam filter oil, but I've also never used a spray-on filter oil. Usually I get the kind that you dump it on here, spread it in. The directions say to just spray it on, let it soak in for 15 minutes, and then see if you have any light spots, and then spray the light spots to get that desired color. We're going to have to pay extra attention because some of my things stained blue, so. Well, I guess this is red, so that might not be too hard, actually. We'll have a red, white-ish, dingy white, and blue filter. I'm just going to put my hand in here and try not to get it sprayed because the stuff's sticky. Okay. I thought it'd be more of a little wide stream, but I can get down on whatever this is doing. Maybe it's for penetration. Ooh. Well, it's definitely dripping. That was one of the things it said not to let it do. Well, what the hell? This is why I don't try new things. If it works out the way I want it to. I might be using entirely too much. I gotta say, I also haven't done a filter in a long time. So what we're gonna do here, just because I am old school, I guess, is I'm just going to squeeze out some of the excess in my driveway, apparently. Poor driveway. Can't catch a break. And then, this stuff isn't very sticky either. I mean, this thing had a little gas in it still, but it was like barely damp. I may have rushed it, guys. I may have botched it. So what we're going to do is we're going to squeeze this thing clean. Oh no. Yeah, that's got a lot in it. Alright, I fucked up. Alright. So we're definitely going to have to wait probably until tomorrow to do the filter oil. The filter is still wet, and I don't trust it to be dry tonight. And now that I've ruined half this can, probably, maybe not quite that much, and also got it everywhere, I'm not going to do that again. So we're going to let it dry 100% for sure, and I am going to continue putting the rest of the bike together. Right, and that's where the filter is going to stay for the rest of the night, and we're going to continue on with it over here. Alright, so there's no point in me putting the seat on because of the filter. There's no point in me doing the little piece that goes above the filter or anything like that. So basically the only thing I have left for tonight I can do is the... I don't even know what you want to call these things. This is probably the wrong one. It goes on the other side. But these things. And before I do these, I'd actually like to see if there's coolant in this thing still. Coolant. It's still full. That's freaking awesome. Want to see something cool? So, fun fact, back when I was riding this as a kid, I had hit, there'd be trees that would fall down on the trail all the time. And I, like myself, wasn't thinking about it really. And I raced down the trails and didn't check them out first. And, well, it done bit me in the butt because I come down one of them the back trails we had growing up, and flying, and all of a sudden I see the trees down, fucking slam on the brakes, and I slid just into the trees, right? So the front wheels like bumped the tree like a little bit hard. Well, there happened to be another branch sticking out like this, and it smoked my radiator right in the cap, and it didn't seal anymore. So we had a Suzuki 80cc that used to be there, and I think it had sprung a leak in the radiator core part, so we'd gotten new ones. Well, the bike's long gone, but we still had the radiators floating around for scrap or whatever. I don't really know. And so we ended up taking these to a welding shop around here. I think it's called Banish Welding. And they ended up cutting the top off of the 80cc radiator and then welding it to this one. So this cap is actually a little bit smaller than it's supposed to be. It's pretty cool that they could do that. I can't do that, but they could do it. So that was a little fun little story time. Now let's get these on here. Looks like I'm missing a screw. May have to rob that off of the parts bike. It may even be one that I don't have. Okay, so this one should be good. Why am I doing this so complicatedly? Just put the screws down, man. I also should be starting these before I just start threading them in there. What a nincompoop. Hopefully I didn't already cross thread that one. Like a stupido. Well, apparently these aren't going to be a fun time either way. Why are they so tight? That's tight. Is this one tight? Oh, it's tight as well. Must rely heavily on the bottom one. Keep it from bouncing around. Which this one kind of goes into this thing. There we go. Solid. Now I'm going to do the other side same way. Alright, so I got this one on. And I got the other side on. I'm just going to need to rob a screw off of my parts bike I have out back. And it will be rocking. Then air filter tomorrow. And we're ready for first startup, I think. Gotta mix some gas up, throw it in there. I wanted to do that tonight, but we're gonna have to wait, unfortunately. Hey guys, it's been like a few days. I didn't get out here the next day after. Work kicked my butt a couple days in a row, and I said, nah. But check out our progress. So this is the air filter. It still has some blue on it from the old foam filter oil I used. But yeah, we should put another layer on there. There is some of the stuff that I did put on there, but it was too full of gas and it kind of soaked out. But we're gonna throw another layer on here of the red stuff, and then we're gonna put it in. So I'm just gonna do another coat on this. Now that's not full of gasoline. Oh, one negative side I found out to the cleaning the air filters with gasoline though is that your wife doesn't like it very much when you smell like gasoline and all your clothes smell like gasoline. So take that into account. Alright, we'll also sit for 15 minutes like it says. Now we got it all evenly coated. Let it sit for 15 minutes, and if there's any light spots, we'll hit those one more time. I'm gonna go clean my hands. While I wait for the air filter to dry up a little bit, let's get that plug out. Just need a 13/16 wrench. This bike, I think the right side has a little more room between where the gas tank is. I could be wrong, but I think it does just a little bit. It wasn't too tight. Just got on there and take her right out. Like I said, this thing has only been ridden like 4 times, I think. It was started and ran 4 times. Like, I don't know, like 7 or 8 years ago, back when I rode it. And this plug is horrible looking. It's actually wet, which is weird. Seems like I didn't even try kicking it over or anything. And wow, you can't, it will not focus on that. There you go. It's kind of wet and oily. It smells like horrible, nasty gasoline. So if I wanted to try to save this, I could clean it up with a torch and some paper, sandpaper, yada yada yada. That might work, but luckily for me, it looks like I bought these in like a 3-pack, and I actually have an extra still. I found it on my little parts bench over here. Yeah, I seen these the other day and I was like, ooh, these are not the right ones. I don't know if these are two, but this is a brand new plug from a bike. We're gonna throw this in here just so I can trick myself. I think it's a good plug. Maybe I can clean it up one of these days and use it in an emergency, like right now when I have no money. But I find this one and it's good. All right, so I got my plug gapped. Oop, that's the wrong side. To, oh, well, it didn't gap as well as I wanted it to, apparently. I want it about right here, 0.024, or yeah, it's 0.024, 0.0224. That's what I want, which is about yay, I think. And I'm actually a little bit over that, so I'm gonna just take it, get it where I want it, right there. This thing kind of sucks, but my other ones are bad. They're rusted, and I can't read them, so that is a lot better. All right, we'll get this plug in, and it's home. You don't really need to tighten these up too much. Just need to snug them up, and make sure you put your spark plug wire back on. I have forgotten to do this before, so that's why I'm saying it. It's real fun, kicking it, and then you're like, why the hell isn't this thing starting? And you get down here and you're like, oh shit, it's because I'm an idiot. Alright, we're gonna mix the gas up while I am waiting for that filter still. And we got some Lucas 2-cycle oil here because that's what they had at the auto parts store, and I don't really have a bike store near me. And some premium gasoline, and we're gonna mix them up. I'm doing a 32-to-1 mixture. What do you guys do for your ratio? Let me know in the comments. All right, so I'm gonna put this in now. You just gotta line it up. I don't remember exactly how it goes, but I think, I know these two holes, these little notches have to go into. I think that looks right there. So we're gonna go with that. Get in like that. Poke these through. Maybe. Just like that. And then we're going to, this needs to go up and down on here. I believe it goes with this side up. You shove it on. Oh, actually, you know what? I missed a step. So once I get it in the plastic, or the retainer deal, I take some grease, like all-purpose grease. Oh, I just dropped it over there. And just coat it down here, which makes it seal nice to the base of the bike. All right. Now we'll shove it in here, like so. I'll clean that up in a minute. Just gotta figure out where it screws into. Like so I can see on here. There we are. Alright, so now I got the filter in there. The wing nut on there is tight. Just gonna clean up all that nasty I got on everything on its way in. And the air filter is good to go. All right, now we'll get the seat on. Oh, it dripped on that. All right. So the seat just has this little notch right here, a little notch thing right there. You just line it up and kind of squish it in. Like that. Just make sure it doesn't. Fenders are on the outside or inside. Get your screws in. And that's it for the seat, really. Just tighten these down with a 8mm socket, and we're good to go. All right, well, it's ready to go. It's got gas, air filter, spark plug, and I think that's it. I think that's all we need. We're gonna try starting it tomorrow because it's late. All right, guys, tomorrow. All right, time to start this bike up. Got a little bit of daylight left. Get her started. Gas on, got the choke on. It's like sticking into my boot. Ooh. Smell something. Why not? I wonder if we're getting spark. I'm gonna sink the fire up. You see anything dripping on the bottom?
Nothing's dripping out.
Ooh! Got fire. Alright, let's get the choke back. Oh, gas. Ah, signs of life. Oh, yeah.
You want to take a break?
Going into my shoe. Well, I don't have back brakes still because I haven't touched them yet, but I have a little bit of a front brake, and it looks like it's smoking pretty bad. So maybe too much oil on the filter, or it could just be because it hasn't been starting forever. But other than that, it's running good. I think I need to adjust my idle just a little bit, which is a little screw. But I think we're ready for the next steps, which is going to be to drain the gear oil, change that, which I have, and do an idle adjustment, and then we'll fix the back brakes. That's important too. All right, that's gonna be all for this video, guys. Keep it on graceful, and that's a good way to end a video right there.